starting as a doctor in a new country, in a new healthcare system, in a new culture can be very daunting. As I myself have experienced that, and I see a lot of international medical graduates go through that. And the outcome of going through that, I have seen distinctly two outcomes. The one is the initial struggle is done and they overcome it and they become independent people and progress in their career. And also, unfortunately, I have seen the sides that they don't progress that well. They become depressed, they become isolated, and I feel I need to make this video just to help those people, or even if you haven't come already, just to prepare you on some of the things that you might face apart from work, that you'd feel the need to be warned about at the same time, and to have some tips from my past experience. How did I learn to navigate through them?
If this is the first time you're checking out our channel, welcome. Basically what we do is we run a website that's totally free known as roadtok.com, and it will explain the ins and outs about everything related to the United Kingdom and what it takes for you to work as a doctor in the NHS. So if you've not already, please stalk us on all of our social media. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hi everyone, my name is Ibrahim. I work as a doctor in the NHS, and I've been working for over 4 years almost. And when I first started in the NHS, I was like many of you who are watching this video, that I had to adapt myself. I have to learn the tricks of managing to live and work in a completely new country, in a new culture, in a new healthcare system. So I'm going to share with you some of my life experiences and some tips from there to how can you quickly adjust to the system. Because at the end of the day, the more you work towards having that the feel that you belong here, that you are working as a doctor here, that is the first ingredient of a recipe of success in career in the United Kingdom. So I'll start with the first one. Learning how to be assertive. And I'm sure that you have heard this word thrown around a lot, like, be assertive, be confident. But what does it mean actually? How can you be assertive? What does it mean? So I think to me, being assertive has a very clear definition. It's like you stand up for yourself without being aggressive or confrontational. You knowing your rights, and you know how to express that without being disrespecting or judging someone else. So still, with my definition, it might feel I really didn't get that. So it's something small as, say, for example, you're being asked to do something, and you know that you're not the person as a position or as a doctor that you would need to do it. There might be other person who would be able to do it, and you are super busy with your workload and everything. Just standing up for yourself at that moment, telling the other person, I really know that you want to get it done, but I'm currently really busy with all the things that happening, and I'm the only person that's managing all of this, and I'm struggling really hard. Can you please find another person to do it? If you can't, then I'd be really I'd be willing to help you when I sort out my other things. This also comes on my next point, learning how to prioritize. So this doesn't come easy. This is something I think would be a skill, prioritization skill, clinical prioritization skill. In many interviews, it might be even asked this as a question. Like, they will give you 3 scenarios, and the interviewer will ask, what would be your more priority? So prioritization comes with experience, comes with seeing many different things in your career. But if you ask me about my prioritization, I always think about patient first. I think that's the default. What I need to do first would put my patient's care at the top priority. like and in the patient, which patients are the top priority. I have very like a useful system is A, B, C, D, E. If someone's airway is impaired, they are like a higher priority to me than someone's low blood pressure. So this is how I navigate. I'm pretty sure there are many books and articles and everything written the way that how can you prioritize yourself. So going back to the point one, this first thing, that standing up for yourself and knowing your rights and expressing it in a confident manner is something that you need to learn as soon as possible. You land in the NHS to work as a doctor. And I would say that it comes with practice. It comes with just starting the conversation. And also, one another advice I would give you: avoid use I statement rather than a you. Say, for example, if someone is really rude to you for something, or someone is saying that said something rude to you, instead of saying you're being really rude and blaming the other person, even though they are to blame, but you can say that I feel disrespected the way you're talking to me. That comes off as more assertive. So I think this some new topics. I would really advise, after listening to this, just go to Google and just watch some YouTube videos, how to be assertive, how to speak confidently without being confrontational and aggressive. In that vein, it also comes about your ability of communicating in a foreign language. English is not a native language. I learned English in school, and to be honest, before coming to the UK, I probably didn't speak English to anybody as a mean of communication in my country. And I'm sure the majority of the IMGs that comes to the UK are in the in a similar situation. That English is a very second language, and you have learned or even took the English language exam as a part of your registration process. So I'm not sure how your experiences are, but my experience is it's very different than the English language exam, right? When you start working and you start communicating with people, it's not like IELTS or OAT. It's very different, and people have many colloquialism, many accents that you have to interact with, and also some people speak really fast. Sometimes when you sat in a meeting, you feel like that majority of them are going on on over your head. So it's that practice, of learning how to be fluent, and at the same time your comprehension of what other people are saying. This can be achieved. I know a majority of the people advises to watch to change your entertainment into watching something in English. So English movies, English TV series. If you're not into movies or TV series, then read books, read newspapers. That kind of helps you to understand what words people use and how they express themselves in the language. It's very different. I have to warn you, it's very different from English language exams that you take, IELTS or OET. Is not similar when you're starting to work in the United Kingdom. So learning how to be fluent in a working manner, and at the same time, again going back to the first point, how to speak as well, how to speak confidently. If you don't have confidence in your speaking, you'll not be able to confidently express yourself either. So emphasize on that. It's not only getting a good score in IELTS or OET. It's about putting yourself out there and having those conversation with the people around you. I had a very, very tough time learning how to do small talk, because I know in culturally speaking, our small talk is completely different than the small talk that you will have in this country. And how people greet each other in the morning, how people express their opinion, how people start the conversation. These are the things I feel that I had to learn initially, and I had faced difficulty based on that, greeting people, saying hello, asking about their weekend, asking what will they do in their weekend. This is not something that we do in our culture, do we? So in my culture, I would say, but this is what they do. So I think understanding these differences in communication, personal communication, is vital to feel grounded and integrated into the team that you'll be working in. Just have some, talk about the weather, talk about anything on the news, and that's how you start the conversation, and then you express your opinion about something, and they will express their opinion about something, and then you'll have a conversation. So if your all conversation with your team members is all surrounding patient, are you really being a member of the team? So try to have this kind of small talks, this kind of conversation with your team members, and in that way you feel integrated into the system, and at the same time you feel as a part of the team. And you have to make efforts to do it. If you don't seem interested, 99% of the time they will not bother you, and that's just being them really polite. And I think you should do it too. If somebody is not interested in talking to you, will you go press them? You won't. So you have to take the first step in many of the cases, but obviously it's very individual. You may have a very good team who are from the very beginning are very friendly to you, and they have opened up, and they have dragged you to include yourself. In some team, it might not be the case. So if you are in that situation, take the first step of communication. Learn how to be a conversationalist. Learn how to have some small talk with your team members, and jump into the conversation they're having. Not rudely, but in a way that you're expressing your opinion. A lot of IMGs also told me, and I think this is kind of a common recurring theme, that they have said that it's really difficult to make friends outside of work. And I agree that it is really difficult to make friends outside of work. And I feel it's true for any adults in any situation. It's really adult friendships are different than the friendships that you grow in your childhood or in your adolescent or even in your university life. The work life and student life is completely separate. Even right now, I feel that I became really good friends with the people that I'm doing my MSc with, rather than the people that I'm working with for more than 4 years. I think it's something to do with a common goal. Like when you're working, there is not really a common goal. You don't have to take an exam. You don't have to write an essay. You don't feel connected with the other person in that way that you feel connected when you're a student of something. That's what I'm saying. So you have to accept that making friends at work is not easy. And to be honest, you shouldn't always try to make friends at work as well. Work colleagues, setting up those boundaries is necessary, and at the same time, it's also necessary to have friends. So you have to reach out to other people. That's the bottom line. And this is my last point that I want to mention: learning how to unwind after work. Because I know a lot of IMGs who say to me, I don't know what to do in the weekends. I have nobody to hang out with, nobody lives near me, I don't have any friends, and that's why, or I finish at 5, but what am I going to do going back home at 5? Because in say, for example, summertime, the sun doesn't set until 8:30 or 9, and the day is on, but there is nothing for me to do outside of 5. See, that's where these people are wrong. You have to find people. You have to find someone else to hang out with. You have to make the attempt to socialize with other people. Make weekend plans. If you don't have anybody near you, then it's in this day and age of communication and Facebook and WhatsApp and whatnot, nobody is really that far. You have to take the extra step. And I know a lot of people say, I'm really tired over the weekend. I have to travel so much. Then go. See, you are going into this vicious cycle. So you have to break that cycle. You have to take the extra step to make new friends, to go out, to hang out, learn how to unwind, and basically forget about work for some period. Like at 5 the work finishes, forget about work at 5. Do something else, get some hobbies. Like in the UK you have so many opportunities to do so many things, learn how to do something. Some of the examples that I can give, I have an IMG friend and at the same time colleague who does musician gigs on his weekend. So you can do it. So I would want to end this video saying that even though I feel that it has been a bit jumbled, but my point of making this video is you have to find your footing into the system. There's so many resources available, there's so many people around you that can help you, but you have to take the first step. So if you start taking the first step towards you being an independent, a more assertive person in the team, in the society that you started to live in, as you moved your career, uprooted your family and come here, I would say that you can take the first step. So learn how to take the first step towards being a better you, and you see the following things will come. And if you feel the necessity of knowing the technical know-how from your own perspective, or even just to talk to someone about your career plan, what's happening ahead, we do provide personalized guidance sessions, face-to-face, online video sessions in our website, road2.uk/session. Do check that out, and thank you for watching the video, and I hope you have subscribed to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and continue to follow us in Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and have a nice day.